Evening, everybody. Welcome to Japan. Welcome to Suzuka. We're here for JPR Season 8. Season 8 already. Round 2. One of the more difficult circuits on the calendar. Difficult circuit to get the right setup for, especially with these parc fermé conditions. If you don't get it right the first time, you're going to be stuck with that setup. And already a whole bunch of cars getting out there. Remember, this season, Season 8, we will not be doing full quali. We will be doing short quali. So just the one session, 18 minutes long. We have 17 drivers in the lobby, so it could potentially be a busy race circuit with just the one quali session. You need to get out there, get that banker lap. We have a pretty even split at the moment of who's out on track and who's remaining in the pits. I believe everyone will use a set of softs for this run. Maybe save an extra set of softs for the race. It's a relatively long circuit, so it does take a while to get around here on that out lap, in lap. So to do a run, you do need quite a bit of time. You need to factor that in. 2 runs, maybe 3. But if you're going to do 3, you can't waste any time in the pits. Out on track on fast laps, we have Convoy, Venom, Staffy and Heno. Magosi now also starting his first fast lap. We ride with Convoy. Another thing about tonight's race, we have a broken game, yet again. Something going wrong with the equal cars, so we're not able to use those cars tonight. So we've had to use the player cars, the multiplayer cars, and I believe the guys have done their best to make that livery look as much as it should to the team they should be driving for. So we're on board with Convoy, and that's clearly a McLaren. Good job on the livery, it really does look like a McLaren. Convoy now through the chicane, activates DRS, goes over the line, sets the first timed lap of the evening at a 129.4. He's followed by Venom, 130.2. Quite the difference between the top two. See these times come down. Magosi goes third, Staffy fourth, Heno goes into fifth. And there we go, there's the first serious lap of the evening. I think that's more of what we can expect. 27s, maybe a 26. But for somebody to do a 26, they're going to have to match some serious time trial pace. We ride on board with Top Gun. Dean goes into second place, a 128.5. Still riding with Top Gun as he goes through that final chicane. A lot of history's happened in that chicane. Goes over the line. And Top Gun fourth, 129.8. Here we ride with Grimjaw in an Alpine. Yet to set a lap time, and if this is a fast lap, he's catching a car at the wrong time. It shouldn't affect him too badly. He might even get a bit of a tow. And there we go. First place by a tenth. I wonder if that tow did help him, or if that car affected his concentration a little bit into that chicane. Shane on his way to the pits. Pumpun in a Williams. Some of the guys lucky enough to drive for a team that has a alternate livery on the game. So the Alpine and the Williams, as well as the Red Bull. See if we can get a look at one of those cars. One Red Bull is in the pits. That is Shane. The other one is out on track. There's no, you get to see that livery. It's a Max Verstappen.com Red Bull livery. Returns to the pits with a best lap time of 132.3. Currently good enough for back of the field. Might not be a bad idea starting at the back of the field. Heading into turn 1. 17 cars into turn 1 here at Suzuka. So easy to make a crucial mistake. Buffelsfontein currently 9th, 129.2. Seems like he's going for a fast lap on a set of used softs. Here is Buffelsfontein, currently 9th, heading towards the hairpin. So easy to mess up the traction on the exit, but he does well. Runs wide, just uses the curb a little bit on the outside, and now heads into Spoon, one of the fastest parts of the race circuit. Really got to be committed around this circuit, and it's a difficult thing to do. Really technical circuit. Sector 2 and Sector 1 just so incredibly different. And then Sector 3, really not much to it. Just got to make sure you really nail that final chicane. Buffelsfontein over the line, used set of softs. He does improve a 128.4, but we know he's got more than that. Once he gets the extra grip, he's going to have a little bit more than that. MJ appears to be on an in-lap. Cheddar goes fastest, 127.3, fastest time of the night so far. We are heading towards the 126s. Will we actually dip into them? It's going to take something special. We're right on board with Safi. What car is Staffy supposed to be driving? Let's have a look. That is a Williams. Follow him as he goes over the line, trying to improve on that 130.8. He does improve, goes to a 129.7, finds 9/10 of a second, puts him up into P11. This is Dean, currently P7, about to go over the line. And that's a 128.2. Dean goes 6th. Bob Byrne, P4. In the Williams Golf livery. This is Grimjaw, currently P2. 127.7, 3 drivers in the 127s. Grimjaw appears to be starting a fast lap. We're looking to improve on P2. If he's going to do that, he needs to find a minimum of 4/10 and hope nobody else can improve. Shane not too far behind, he's in 3rd. 10th adrift from Grimjaw, but half a second adrift from provisional pole. Remember, just the single quali session. As the session comes to an end, we will go straight into the race. Not 100% sure on the formation lap. Been in too many leagues lately, so I'm not 100% sure. Now, ooh, Venom losing it on the exit. And that's, at least he lost it at the exit of the chicane, and the spin sent him into the entry of the pit lane. Damage minimized. He gets safely back to the pits. Ride with Top Gun. Currently P11. And he dives into the pits. I was just about to say, let's join Dan Ritfeld. He's on a fast lap and has not set a time as of yet, but as we went to his car, he was pointing in the wrong direction. He was going through the pits, but he was going through the gravel rather, but doesn't appear to have damage. Hopefully he can just charge up the ERS and have another go at it. Just over 4 minutes remain in the session. A lot of cars still in the pits. Gonna see a lot of action in this last 2.5 minutes or so. Evening, Staffy, thanks for joining. P12. Not too bad. I don't know if I'd want to be at the front of the grid and have 16 cars behind me going into turn 1. Grimjaw has clearly backed out. This is Judge. He is on an out lap in the Monza liveried Alfa Romeo. Let's have a look at Dan Ritfeld. We saw he had some misfortunes on the previous lap. Is he going to come in, put on a new set as quickly as possible and go back out there, or is this going to be his attempt? Looks like he's using ERS, so I think this is his fast lap. Currently P17 of 17 because he has not set a lap time. Dean, Pantry, Convoy, Shane, all emerging from the pits for outlaps. I think we could still see a shake-up of the order. Provisional pole so far, 127.3, fastest lap of the night. That goes to Cheddar. He is on an outlap, so he's looking to improve on that. Not comfortable over that 1/10 buffer over Grimjaw. Buffelsfontein appears to be on an in-lap. Convoy just losing the back end there, but catching it nicely. AD in unfamiliar territory. I'm used to seeing him in a Scarlet Ferrari, but he has traded places with the other Italian brand, Alfa Romeo. Of course, not an Italian team, just the Italian brand. This is actually Sauber, and they are Swiss. Probably one of the longest running privately owned teams. Sauber has had quite the story. They've actually got something in common with South Africa, because Sauber's first Grand Prix was the South African Grand Prix of 1993, and they actually debuted the Mercedes engine, the return of Mercedes to F1. They obviously later moved on to a very lucrative partnership with McLaren. We have Cheddar. This will be his final run. Currently a 127.3. Grimjaw is nearest competition with a 127.4. His session is over. He's crossed the checkered flag. Shane goes fastest, 127.1. We ride on board with Cheddar as he goes through the final chicane. He's going to activate DRS, and no, he doesn't. He's pulled out of the lap. Obviously wasn't improving, pulled out of it. So the man who's been telling me all night he has no pace is on provisional pole, playing mind games, 127.1. Driver's still looking to improve is Convoy. He's going to be the next man over the line, currently P6, and he backs off, so he's not going to be able to improve. Pantry Star comes into the pit, he's not going to improve. And as for everybody else, they've either taken the checkered flag or they've retired from the session. Staffy, that is Alpine. And he's not looking to buy into, he already has. Basically it was not only him, it was a whole handful of people that put that money in, but He was the most famous name, so that's what they attached to it. So there's your results for qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix Season 2, Round 8. Shane takes pole position with a 127.1. Cheddar second, 127.3. Grim Georgist a further 10th away, 27.4. Pompoon as well, 27.4 in fourth. Then we've got Conboy fifth, Bifflesfontein sixth, Venom in seventh, 88th, Dean ninth, Pantry Star 10th. Then outside of the top 10, we've got Dan Rietveld in 11th, Top Gun 12th, Staffy 13th. For a second there, I couldn't say Staffy. Atmagozi 14th, MJ 15, The Judge 16, and making up your field, Heno in 17th. That's a good lucky number. No one's going to guess it. Formation lap is off. Just got confirmation of that. So guys are going to do their final touch-ups to the car, strategy, underfueling, whatever the case may be. What tyres will they start on? And then we're going to go straight to the 5 red lights and get underway. No formation lap. For the time being, we remain stationary, looking down the pit lane. And probably if I stand up and try and take a break, the red lights are going to come on. I'm sure of it. It'll be taking a little bit longer. There we go. I thought there may have been an issue, but we are underway. 5 red lights. They're off. And here we go. Red Bull versus Alpine into turn 1. I don't think anybody's going to try anything too crazy. 80 gets up into 7th place. He's made up some positions at the start of the race. Judge making up positions at the start of the race. Everybody else staying pretty much in position. In the position they started. Bifflesfontein lost 2 positions at the start of the race. And Judge has made up 2 positions at the start of the race. As for your top 3, Linus Stern, in the same order that they started. Shane leads from Cheddar. There are your possible race strategies. Starting on softs, going on to the medium or the hard. Those strategies didn't look quite right to me, because why would you pit earlier if you were pitting on? Never mind. Still lap 1 of 27, very long way to go. Cheddar thought about it for a second. Looked like he was lining something up, and then very quickly got back behind the gearbox of the Red Bull. Teams I recognize, I'll refer to them. The teams I don't, I'm not going to be able to check who's driving for what team all the time. But for some of these liveries you can make it out. Alpine leads from Red Bull. Alpine third. 2 Alpines in the top 3. Wouldn't Renault be happy to see that? And we have the first virtual safety car of the race. Just having a look at the track map, see if we can see anything in particular, but everybody seems to be moving, so no retirements for now. Virtual safety car neutralizing the race. Really important when you're under virtual safety car to keep an eye on that delta. it is possible to actually lose a lot of time behind the virtual safety car. If you slack off on that delta and the virtual safety car ends at the wrong time, virtual safety car going on for quite some time. Virtual safety car must have been for the Alfa Romeo of the judge, because he is trailing the field. Now if it was a full safety car, he'd be able to catch up to the back of that queue, but it's a virtual safety car, so he can only do what the delta allows him to do, and that's the end of the virtual safety car. Green flag. Cheddar leads from Shane, gap just 0.2 of a second. Grimjaw right there as well. Remember, the gaps hadn't formed before that virtual safety car came out, so virtually no gaps in the field. Heno has made his way to the pits, must have got damage on that opening lap, maybe a collision with the judge. Judge also clearly involved in some sort of incident. "17 drivers still on track. 24 laps to go. Long race, technical circuit. It's about being consistent and keeping that concentration throughout the race. So easy to make a mistake here. Touch the wrong curb. So anyone outside of the top 10 here, you could still potentially score points, because mistakes are not far away. Speaking of mistakes, top 3, top 4, top 5 getting really touchy. Cars getting close together. Now Shane goes up the inside, retakes that lead. He's going to get DRS. But now the Alpine. This time it's Grimjaw. Grimjaw takes the lead of the race. Alpine swapping positions from first to third, and Shane remaining in second throughout it all. Convoy fourth, Pampun fifth. The longer we can see these 5 going around, the better. But remember, if one of those, either the car in the front or one of the cars in the middle of that queue, make a huge error, we could have quite a mess. Venom not far off that queue. He's in P6. To bring up the tyre information for the race, your first and second place, they're on a set of mediums. Cheddar in third, he's on a set of hards. Maybe that's why he relinquished the lead there. Just knew he's playing a different strategy. Drivers on mediums are Grimjaw, Shane, Convoy, Pampun, Buffelsfontein, Pantry Star, Dan Ritfeld, Staffy and Atmagozi. The most popular tyre at the race start. Grimjaw sets the fastest lap of the race. It's 1:30.9. We'll see that time come down considerably towards the end of the race when the rest of these guys are on softs. Starting to choosing to start the race on soft is AD, Top Gun, Dean, Judge and Heno. We have a caution, somebody's off the track. Just a caution, I don't think we're going to get a safety car. That was for MJ, I'm not sure what happened there. He has been disqualified. So that is not a DNF, that is a full disqualification. Not sure what happened there. We actually saw that earlier on in a practice session where the judge got DSQ'd. And he was unfortunately beached on a curb. So, not sure what happened with MJ. He becomes the first retirement of the night. If you've retired, come over and watch the stream, because it is dead tonight. Steffi, my only supporter. Shane leads the way. Now remember, as he gets onto that straight, the two cars behind him, the two Alpines behind him, both hungry, both going to have DRS. Nobody deciding to do anything extra brave there into turn one. Remember, the top two, Shane and Grimjaw, they are on the same strategy. Cheddar appears not to be on the same strategy. He's on a set of hards, so he should go further on into this race than the two cars ahead of him. Shane doing what he can to break the queue. For the time being, Cheddar really in the strongest position of those top three. He's got the hardest compound and he's able to keep up with the cars in front of him. Shane has broken the DRS gap now just over a second, and as I say that, it dips below a second, so he's going to want to get that up to over a second before he gets to that main straight. See if he can just break this constant cycle. A little further down from the top three, 4th place Pampun, Conboy 5th, Venom 6th, all line astern. Top 6 still very, very close in this race. As I say that, I always just look and there's another car second down the road, so no one out of this for now. Two cars towards the back of the field, that is Judge. He was involved in an incident at the start of the race. We didn't get to see it, but obviously spending some time off the circuit. Didn't appear to have any damage because he didn't visit the pits. And then the other car having a difficult time today, that's Eno. I think he was involved in that same incident. And he's being lapped. Gets out of the way, lets everyone through. Doesn't affect that queue of cars. Now just staying out of the way. Staying off the racing line. And almost coming to a halt. Don't want to come to a halt. We have another caution. Caution sector 1, sector 2. It's Dean. Dean is out of the race. DNF. Will this activate the safety car? Would be the first one of the race, and it would be very beneficial to the soft runners, but no safety car. We have green flag conditions yet again. Shane leads the way, but that gap has fallen below the 1 second mark, so Grimjaw will or should have DRS. Can't see from this camera angle if it's open. I'm sure it was. Cheddar is now starting to fall adrift. He led this race at a stage. Now he's in 4th place. Remember, set of hards on that car. So he's going to go deeper into the race. All over the back of Pampun, trying to reclaim that final podium position. Convoy P5 not far behind, lurking. So many quick drivers in this field. Predicting a winner won't be easy. And if you were watching the League v League race last night, that was also hosted on the JPR channel, you'll know that a race can look as if it's all under control, and then suddenly things can go more than wrong, very wrong. Just ask your current leader. Shane leads from Grimjaw, and as we say that, Cheddar now gets through on the straight well before turn 1. He's back up into third place. Cheddar doing a fantastic job up until now. He's really able to stay with these guys ahead of him, and he's on that hard compound. He should be falling back, but he's not. Able to maintain that gap. And now he's in the DRS of his teammates, so he can just get towed around by his teammates and stay with these two. And Shane runs wide, puts some wheels in the gravel. It's going to allow Grimjaw back through into the lead, but they're fighting yet again. This time Shane tries to go up the inside of the hip and doesn't get the traction he needs on the exit. And Grimjaw retakes the position. Surely not into Spoon. No, thinks better of it. That would have been an extremely brave move. Or our first safety car of the night. Now Shane wasting no time up the straight here. This corner all about commitment. And Shane comes out in front. But now will Grimjaw have DRS? I'm not sure where the DRS activation point is. But yes, Grimjaw gets DRS yet again, but now he's coming under pressure from his teammate. He's concentrating on trying to take the lead, and all of a sudden his teammate's coming past him. But if Cheddar does have the superior pace, that will make sense for the team game. Alpine having a fantastic race up until now. Pampun doing well to stay with these top three. Currently P4. Almost no gap, just 2 or 3 tenths. So he's all over the back of Grimjaw. He's not far from the top three at all. Lurking, waiting to steal that podium position. For everyone that was complaining about Suzuka in practice, just the one DNF. Everybody doing really well up until this point. Just that misfortune for Heno on the opening lap. But still 17 laps remain. And this order could be shaken up by a whole number of things. Remember, this is a Codemasters lobby and anything can happen. Usually you would say this is F1 and anything can happen. But this is a Codemasters game and anything can happen, which is much more severe. So having a look at the penalties for the night, we're seeing a few black and white flags next to drivers' names. Just the 2 drivers with penalties tonight so far. That is Staffy. He's just picked up a 3-second penalty a few seconds ago. And Heno, he has a 10-second penalty. I wonder if that is for maybe slowing down excessively to let the traffic go. Not sure what it was about, but he has a 10-second penalty. Pretty severe. It would have to be something like being off the track, slowing down too much on the track, or 10 seconds he'd have to skip the entire final chicane. Shane leads, 0.3 of a second is the gap, nothing in it. Grimjaw starting to fall back now in that second Alpine. Have a look at your... Something we haven't looked at yet is your stops. Pampun, he was doing well, he was in 4th place looking for that podium position, and he's the first of the really quick men to make a pit stop. Wonder if he had damage or if that was part of the plan. Cheddar looks to the inside. I think he just knew that wasn't going to be the best idea. Stay in the slipstream, stay in the DRS, stay behind Shane a little longer. It's on a set of hards, can go longer into the race. Not sure what happened there. Did the Alpines just switch position? That was very weird. I didn't see what happened there. The pit stops have promoted Venom into 4th place. Also on a set of odds, as is the car in front of him, Cheddar, using the alternate strategy. The worst set of tyres on track right now will have to be on this car over here. The judge has done 11 laps on that set of softs. Convoy has made a pit stop, Pantry Star has made a pit stop, 80, Top Gun. A whole handful of cars now coming in for their pit stops. We are riding with your leader. And he has now quite the comfortable gap, 3.3 seconds. Venom 3rd, this field's really opened up. Will we have undercuts, overcuts? What's this going to do to the order? Pampun goes fastest on that new set of tyres. Sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Fastest lap of the race so far is a 1:30.880. We have a retirement, we have our first safety car. Who will this help and who will this definitely not help? I think the first car into the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken, was Pampun. And I'm almost certain, well, Shane has to pit. Clearly he's on mediums. Or is he going to try and stretch it out a little bit further so he can finish on the soft? Safety car just neutralizing the race at exactly at the halfway point. Wasn't sure how many of them in the top 3 would pit, but all 3 have made a pit stop in the top 3. That's Shane, Cheddar and Venom. And unfortunately for Pampun, he's not able to make the most of it because he has to trundle around at safety car speed. So Shane leads from Cheddar, Pampun 3rd. In terms of positions gained during the race, Pantry Star is the biggest winner. He's in 5th. He's picked up 5 places. Obviously started P10 by my poor math skills. Hopefully that's correct. And the biggest loser in terms of positions lost since the start of the race, that is Buffelsfontein. He's lost 4 positions. Remember, Shane and Cheddar 1st and 2nd, those are the same positions they started in. No one else is in the position they started in. Still a few cars at the back of the field. Wonder if this will allow Heno to unlap himself. That is still something within the game that they've never really got quite right. Sometimes it says you can pass the car ahead, and then the moment you do, you get a penalty countdown. And I will be back in just a minute. We're back on lap 15 of 27. We're under safety car conditions. Shane leads the way from Cheddar, Pampun third, Venom fourth, Pantry Star fifth. Grimjaw, who's had a very strong race up until this point, he's in sixth. He came in the same time as his teammate, and if we weren't using multiplayer cars, I'd assume he's that far back because they double stacked, but I'm not sure they did. Obviously we've tried to create teammates and similar cars to the best of our ability. But one thing the game does not do for us is keep the teammates in the same garage. So you don't really know who's sharing a garage with you, and a double stack during a safety car is very possible. Tire situation. First, third and fifth, all on a set of hards. Cheddar this time round, he's going to have the softer compound for the second stint of the race. He's on the medium. Then Venom, Grimjaw, AD, Conboy, Top Gun, Judge and Heno, all choosing the medium tyre. And then also we have Staffy on the hard. And two drivers choosing to go for the soft. Here we go. Underway yet again. Shane leads from Cheddar. Can Cheddar do something at the restart? He's going to have to wait a while until DRS becomes available yet again. Doesn't look like he wants to wait for DRS. Remember, he's going to have the superior traction. He's going to have the superior grip on those mediums. But towards the end of the race, those mediums could start falling off and the advantage could swing in Shane's direction yet again. Still so much can happen in this race. Let's see what's happening a little further back. Pampun, also on a set of hards. He needs to hold on to these top two for as long as he can, but he's got his mirrors full of Venom. In fact, Pampun has a similar handful to Shane. He's got a car behind him on a better set of tyres. No change at the front. As I say that, Cheddar thought about going around the outside, but that did not work. Good defense. Shane goes to the inside, but now is he going to have DRS? Not yet. But he doesn't need it. He's going to go past Shane before we get to turn one. Will Shane come back at him? Maybe just try and stay on the gearbox of that car for as long as possible. Those mediums should fall off before the hards do. It's about tyre management now. Don't want to do anything crazy. The last thing you want to do is overheat those tyres. You're going to have a very uncomfortable stint towards the end of the race. And Staffy just tells me what I need to put up on screen, what info I need to put up on screen. So not only am I a commentator for JPR, I'm also Staffy's engineer. Not sure why you'd want me as an engineer. My best time around here was I think my quali time was these guys' race pace. Cheddar in the lead now. Gap at the front, 1.5 seconds, so he has broken the DRS. Fastest lap of the race by quite a margin, at 28.9. We don't even have someone in the 29s. I wish I could do a 128.9 as a quali fast lap. Impressive stuff. But remember, he's on that set of mediums. And if he takes too much out of them on these opening laps, could come back to bite him. Top two are still the top two. They've just reversed positions. Cheddar leads the way from Shane. 2.1 seconds. That gap. Pampun down in third. Still needs to defend from Venom. Venom on the better set of tyres. Venom coming under pressure himself from Grimjaw, who spent a large majority of this race in a podium position, and he wants to get back to those podium positions, but in order to do so, he's got two cars in front of him that are pretty quick in their own right. Now we have Venom. Fantastic pass into turn one. We've seen some really great racing today. We haven't seen collisions. I was expecting drama here in Suzuka. Just the one safety car. Guys giving each other a lot of space whenever those passes happen into turn one. Fast racing, good racing, and guys respecting each other on circuits. It's always good to see. Venom begins to chase down his next target. That will be Shane in second place. Remember, Venom does have the superior tyre right now. He's on that medium. But before he can catch up to Shane, he needs to shake off Pampun. And then Grimjaw in fifth. Definitely doesn't look like he's happy with fifth. He wants to get up the order. He looks like an angry bee. Just see the nose going to the left, going to the right, looking for a place, and now he goes up. He goes up the inside well before they get to turn one. And Grimjaw goes through on Pampun into fourth place. And now he's going to take up the job of occupying Venom's mirrors. So far, no issues. Everything going quite well with the lobby. I believe that's because nobody has left the lobby. The drivers that have retired remaining in the lobby, and hopefully that will clear up a few problems that we've seen in the past. Lead by Cheddar, 1.8 seconds. Got up to about 1.5 seconds pretty quickly. Now it's just stabilizing a little bit. Shane won't want it to get to 2 seconds. Shane won't want it to get too much bigger. Obviously, if those mediums do fall off towards the end of the race, he needs to be close enough to take advantage of it. 2 seconds is the gap. A little further back, the Alpine does regain third place, and now Grimjaw back up into the top 3. Fantastic recovery. I think he was down in 6th. He will now chase Shane for all he has, but remember he had those 2 cars in front of him, so he may have been doing a lot of chasing, a lot of hard driving, so those tyres may be a little tired. It'll be interesting to see in the final laps of the race if those tyres have been stretched just a little too much. I believe if the mediums have been stretched a little bit too much, we'll see that evidence first with AD, because he's on a set of mediums and it's the oldest set of mediums on the circuit. He's done 9 laps. At the front, 2.3 seconds is the gap between first and second. Grimjaw doing all he can to catch up to Shane, make it an Alpine 1-2. How good would that be for their championship? But he hasn't been able to shake off Venom right now. He's in the DRS, does not go through in turn 1. Wasn't close enough. But really now just needs to stay as close as he can. Grimjaw's going to struggle to get away. If every now and then you just get that DRS point, even if you can't get past, just stay on the back of that car. And if you're close enough, when a mistake does happen, you capitalize. Don't know what everyone was complaining about. I thought we were going to have half the field retire. Seems like Shane wasn't the only one playing mind games. Mind games up and down the field. Speaking of up and down the field, let's go back to the top of the field. Shane, Cheddar. Cheddar leads 2.6 seconds. Gap continuing to grow. Has that superior grip. For the drivers that did underfuel, I hope they didn't underfuel by too much. We just had the one safety car. Probably a lot less incidents than some of the drivers expected. They definitely caught the commentator off guard. I was expecting more incidents. So if you were setting your fuel, thinking of 2 or 3 safety cars possibly, you could find yourself in a bit of a squeeze in the last few laps. Last thing you want to do when you're battling is now you need to lift. Shane's still falling back. That gap now 3 seconds. Cheddar leads the way. He looks comfortable on that set of mediums. Let's have a look at AD. Remember I said he had the oldest mediums on the circuit. So his tyres would go off first, and that would give us a warning, give us an indication. Now he runs wide, does AD, and that lets Buffelsfontein come right at him. Buffelsfontein on the soft tyre should have the superior grip. The Alfa Romeo is just running line astern in 8th and 9th, and I'm not sure what happened there. Ooh, safety car. Safety car. And the Alfa Romeo is almost making contact. And this is going to be interesting now because we've had a safety car. Your top 4 or 5, I believe, had already crossed the start-finish line when that safety car was called. As for the drivers who were a little behind, a whole handful of drivers, a whole smattering of drivers. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers have chosen to pit under that safety car. That's what I thought they were doing. So now we have 6 cars out on track, and on the restart they're going to have brand new softs. Could still see some interesting things coming from the midfield. Some really fast drivers on a brand new set of softs. Pampun, Convoy, Pantry, Top Gun, Akmagozi and Staffy, all on a set of softs. And with that amount of superior grip with 3 laps to go, who knows what will happen. But they have not collected the safety car as of yet, or the safety car hasn't collected the queue as of yet. So we're probably going to see at least 2 more laps of this. It's going to be, I wanted to call it a 5-lapper, but it's not going to be a 5-lapper. There's almost no time at all. So hopefully the safety car comes in this lap. If it doesn't come in this lap, we're going to have a 1-lap shootout. And if that's the case, Cheddar is going to lead a field of 13 drivers. Some of them having good races, some of them having bad races. Race being neutralized right at the end for a 1-lap shootout. You've got a brand new set of softs. You don't need to worry about overheating. You can just go for it. And I think we could see something quite special from the drivers on softs. And with all those pit stops, it's actually promoted AD into 4th place. And who knows, for a 1-lap shootout, he could very well hold on to that 4th place and even steal himself what he would probably describe as an unexpected podium. Safety car in this lap. So we won't get the 1-lap shootout. We're going to have 2 laps at the end here. Safety car actually came in faster than expected. Cheddar slows down, lets the safety car go into the pits. He becomes effectively the new safety car. He decides when to go. You can't pass him till the start-finish line. Good restart. Red Bull didn't let the Alpine get too much of a jump on him, but he's not close enough to do anything into turn 1. Don't see any madness on circuit for now. Seems like everybody got through turn 1 pretty nicely. Cheddar leads the way, half second. He'll be a little bit annoyed because he built that gap up to just over 3 seconds. Safety car came out and put him in this position yet again. Not getting a lot of respite at the front. Alleviates the pressure. Again puts the pressure back on. Further back in the midfield, let's see what those drivers on softs are doing. The first driver on softs is Pampun. He's currently in 4th place. Wants to steal a podium. Convoy, P5, Venom, P6, all on softs. Pantry Star, on a set of softs. AD on that aging set of mediums. He has dropped from 4th place to 11th. Look at this. Wheel on wheel. Shane knows he needs to get past. He wants to get past now. He's coming under pressure from the second Alpine. This can't be easy. Spending half the race between two teammates. Every time you try and get past the one in front of you, the one behind you attacks your mirrors. This is lap 27 of 27. This is your final lap of the race. Cheddar leads the way, 0.3 of a second. Grimjaw just behind. Podium has not been decided. It's fantastic. After 27 laps of racing, we intersected 2 of the final lap of the race, and the podium is not yet decided. Seems now Cheddar has opened that gap up to 0.8. I think it would take a mistake from him to allow the rest of these guys back into the race. Shane defending hard, 0.1 of a second, nothing in it. He's going to have that car of Pampun right behind him. Up a long straight now. He's going to have the slipstream. He's got the superior tyre. Not only does he have the superior tyre, it's got the superior age. Just 3 laps versus 13. Is he going to do anything? It's going to have to be spectacular into the final chicane. And nothing of the sort. Cheddar goes over the line. Pampun goes into second. I guess Shane had penalties that I didn't notice. I apologize for that. My mistake, I didn't see that. Shane had penalties next to his name. That promotes Pampun into second place. Probably explains why he didn't attack. More on that last lap. Convoy makes up the podium. And Pantry Star finishing 4th. Buffelsfontein 5th. Top Gun 6th. Actually, this thing is still correcting itself. Let's just wait for the official standings. That is unfortunately what happens when a safety car comes out late in the race, compresses the entire field and lets them have another lap or 2. Those gaps aren't going to be very big after 2 laps of racing, and if you've got penalties next to your name, it's not going to cost you a position. It could cost you several. Driver of the day, according to the game, goes to Pantry Star. Good drive from him. Came up from 10th on the grid. And there are your official results. Cheddar winning the race, also taking fastest lap with a 1:28.9. No one even, well, only Grimjaw was able to get into the 29s. Then Pampun and Convoy, 2nd and 3rd. 2 McLarens, I believe it is. Pantry 4th. Top Gun 5th. Shane finishing in 6th after, well, disappointment twice in 2 nights. Grimjaw 7th. Apmagozi in the points 8th. Venom 9th. 80 picking up some points at the end there. 10th place. Staffy just outside the points. Unlucky 11th. Then Judge in 12th. Buffelsfontein 13. Henno 14. And your non-finishers, Dan Rietveld, Dean, and MJ. I thank you for joining me, and for everyone else who's going to be watching this stream later on, or later on in the week, whenever it is you watch it. I see the views are a lot more after the live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the racing. And I'll see you again next week, Friday. Enjoy.